Breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alert.
UN police force about to unconstitutionally take over U.S. town after what was uncovered overnight. While Obama was in office, he allowed the United Nations to start establishing a presence within American cities with a global police force, sneaking his plot to give America's sovereignty away under the guise of an organization called the Strong Cities Network. This unconstitutional move was largely criticized by patriotic groups, as the Constitution requires a treaty before allowing any foreign military presence to base itself on American soil. In a shocking move, the United Nations is now using Charlottesville incident as a way to grab power in our country, and unconstitutionally take over one of our cities. The Strong Cities Network, SCN, was launched by the United Nations back in September 2015, providing the first ever global network of mayors and municipal-level policymakers with the stated goal of providing a community to counter violent extremism in all its forms. Along with the United Nations' responsibility to protect doctrine, an enabling principle that allows an international community to intervene when they discover crimes being committed against humanity, the UN can take it upon themselves to safeguard any citizen who they view as being racially discriminated against. To put it in more simple terms, the UN can invade a country with their UN police force if they determine that crimes against humanity have occurred. Now in an unbelievable power move, United Nations officials responsible for combating racism globally have just issued a dire warning to the untied states, claiming that after their investigation, they've found alarming racism trends in our country and are now set to intervene. Anastasia Crickley, chairwoman of UN Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, CERD, issued her statement Tuesday in response to the Charlottesville incident on August 12 saying, "We are alarmed by the racist demonstrations, with overtly racist slogans, chants and salutes by white nationalists, neo-Nazis, and the Ku Klux Klan, promoting white supremacy and inciting racial discrimination and hatred," Crickley said. Of course Crickley had absolutely nothing to say about Obama's violent Antifa group, who were beating people with metal poles and spraying acid into the face of Trump supporters who were at the rally in Charlottesville. This is an extremely serious power play move on behalf of the Sharia law-supporting United Nations, as this warning has only been issued in a handful of countries in the past 10 years, where the UN warned third world countries such as Burundi, Iraq, Ivory Coast, Kyrgyzstan and Nigeria of their actions against humanity. Crickley is now getting the UN to undertake concrete measures against the United States. Crickley went on. In a decision issued under its early warning and urgent action procedure, the committee, which monitors implementation of the International Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination, stated there should be no place in the world for racist white supremacist ideas or any similar ideologies that reject the core human rights principles of human dignity and equality, Crickley said. She continued, in addition to the criminal investigation of the individual who plowed his car into a crowd of peaceful protesters killing a woman, the UN experts asked the U.S. authorities to undertake concrete measures to address the root causes of the proliferation of such racist manifestations. This is not only a power move, but a huge insult for a corrupt organization such as the United Nations to start attacking our country and publicly calling us out. America has done more than any other country on earth to weed out racism and fight for the human rights of others. Keep in mind the UN is perfectly fine with Christians being massacred by ISIS, Muslims having sex slaves, white genocide in Africa, and the horrifying treatment of women in Middle Eastern countries. Obama tried desperately to take away our country's sovereignty by getting us involved in the United Nations Strong Cities Network. While the thought of having a foreign police on our soil has been a conspiracy in the past, the United Nations is making a real to take our sovereignty away under the guise of protecting American citizens from racism. This was all part of Obama's plan the entire time, and why he worked so hard to get us involved with this unconstitutional deal with the UN. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think about this? Share this on Facebook and Twitter along with your comments.